You know why it is a good morning for me? It is one of the very few good, wonderful mornings for me, for the simple reason I am before this particular people who are contributing for the welfare and development of the state. That's why I feel it is a very, very wonderful morning for me. I'll take a little more on this point. You are the driving force for the economic activity in the state. You are the growth engine for the welfare and economic activity and development of the state. You know what happened in the last 9 years? It is all because of you. In the last 9 years, the per capita income of the people of the state has increased 3 times. In the last 9 years, the per capita budget of the state is the highest in the country. The per capita of the planned budget of the state is the highest in the country because of in these last 9 years what your contribution. That's not the only story. You have consumed from 11,000 million units of power in 2003 and 4, and today you are able to consume 28,000 million units of power in spite of all the problems. So that is 2.8 times of industrial activity. That's why the other details are, they followed. That's why we recognize you. We are happy to be before you. We are happy to interact with you. We are happy to assist you. Friends, you have a friend in the form of the state government of Andhra Pradesh. We'll assist you. We'll promote the activity. We try to listen to you. The days of single windows, the age of single windows are gone. The age of clicking has come. The state government is not far from you. It's only one click away from your laptop and one push away from your iPhone. That's where and that's how the state government would like to work with you. So this is what I would like to say. That's why it's a very, very wonderful morning for me especially, because to see such people creating employment, creating wealth, and giving the opportunity for the many, many millions who are deprived and not so fortunate. That's why it's a wonderful morning. The biggest challenge and the most exciting part of developing a country is to nourish its human resources. In today's global context, the most valuable resource that any country can have is the human resource. Human resource is the key in not only providing value addition to the natural resources, in fact, significantly adding value to the natural resources, but also in generating huge opportunities in the service sector. There is a limit on the amount of natural resources a country can have, and those resources diminish over a period of time. But in contrast, human resources, when nurtured, keep accumulating and strengthening. One of the strongest advantages which India is currently having is its demographic dividend. India's demographic dividend presents the country with a great opportunity to enhance its growth and seek convergence of per capita incomes with that in the developed world. India's birth rate has fallen from 45.6 per thousand in 1951 to an estimated 21 currently, but still remains high, driven by slowly falling infant mortality rate that remains high at about 46 per thousand. The death rate has fallen dramatically from 37.2 per thousand in 1951 to an estimated 7 currently, but has still not caused population aging. Median age for India's population is about 27 years, compared with over 40 for most of the developed countries. It will add significantly to its labor pool, and even as the median age, it will still be at a relatively young, that is about 30 to 34 age bracket by 2026. India's age dependency ratio is currently around 54. This is already lower than Japan and France. Most developed countries would see a rapid aging of their population over the next 2 to 3 decades, putting severe pressure on their social security systems with the rise in dependency ratio. The overall median age of these countries rose from 29 in 1950 to 37.3 in 2000 and is forecast to be around 45.5 by 2050. That way, the Indian, about 30 to 34 by 2026, creates an enormous pool of wealth. If it was only harvested properly, it can put into better use. Clearly, India has a potential advantage of demographic dividend over its emerging market peers. But this demographic dividend could be a boon or a curse depending upon how we exploit it. For the time to reap these gains is not only finite but also depends on our human capital management. Globalization presents an excellent scenario where we can put our products in perspective with the best in the world. Only those that meet the standards of excellence are going to thrive. There is no room for mediocrity. We need to produce goods and services that are the best in the world. Excellence should be fundamental to everything that what we do. Education should enhance the lateral thinking of the individual, and technology can take the productivity to another level. But fundamentally, excellence should be built upon basic human principles. I think education needs to instill a sense of entrepreneurship in the students and encourage them to take up their own business. Now we come to the creativity. Creativity is the key to entrepreneurship. We need to recognize, reward, and encourage creativity of students from their high school or even primary school. In the current economic and global scenario, India is greatly placed to take advantage of the boom in service sector. We are putting all efforts to ensure that India will not lose. I am happy to mention that the central government and the state government have taken keen interest to strengthen the human capital available with us through a thrust on skill development and innovation. Industry and academia connect is the key producing quality human resources. In Andhra Pradesh, we have constituted a committee particularly for the IT industry to bridge the gap between the industry and the academia. A committee comprising of representatives from IBM, Oracle, Microsoft, TCS, and Infosys are part of the exercise to make radical changes to our educational curriculum to suit the industry. AP is one of the few states imparting industry-grade skills through our JKC. The state government's initiative of Rajiv Education and Employment Council of AP, which is the flagship project of the state government, is one of the important institutionalization processes which transforms the youth force into human capital. REMAP is conceived by the state government to build job-specific skills among the unemployed and place them in the appropriate private jobs. The government's vision is to convert large number of non-literate, unskilled, unemployed youth into productive workforce by building their skills, thereby promoting inclusive growth. The mission proposes to employ about 1.5 million youth in the jobs in the private sector by 2014. As of date, around 354,000 youth is employed and around 43,000 youth all across the state are under training. A large labor force without skills on the one hand and industry grappling with the dearth of labor is a paradox that we are facing today. The initiative like REMAP is a critical bridge to bridge this gap. So this is the initiative. That's why about 2 years back, the Honorable Chief Minister has taken up this important aspect of imparting training to the unskilled, to the unemployed, and illiterate people. Andhra Pradesh for this year, reviving growth through governance, innovation, and skills is a step in the right direction. I sincerely appreciate the pioneering work done by this organization in the area of skill development and its vision to make India and the state a developed nation and state by 2022. With this note, I once again thank all of you for inviting me to address this and interact with the industry. I am sure the conclave will be of great value addition to the participants. Before I conclude, I can say one thing more. This is the age of specialization. In the age of specialization, only a politician is made an exception, I believe.